welcome to TTRP Theatre. Usually it goes much better than this. I am the Cthulhu Kid, or Mark, or whatever you want to call me. We are playing SLA Industries. It's a special one-shot for to jumping in the middle of our game. We're doing a more higher level campaign, episode. Just thank you very much. We will start in our room. Voltaire, Gertie, Brick, Whisper. You're sitting around a table in a darkened room. Across from you is an Ebon, fairly young looking. Fairly young looking. There's death suit and hair and eyes are giving off flashes of colour, as if they are nervous. In the corner, there are two. You're not sure they're men, women, whatever, but hunkered down in large, unfamiliar armour. One with a human face, the other Shaktarian. The Ebon coughs slightly and shuffles some papers about. Thank you very much for coming. My name is Calton 4. And he points at its badge. You can see the SCL 8.3, so more than you. Thank you for accepting this black BPN. I know there wasn't much information on it. Please believe me, it's of utmost importance. This comes from the very top. It would have been platinum, but for bureaucratic reasons, we had to go through certain channels. If you could introduce yourselves, please, before I introduce our colleagues in the corner.
Well, but of course, I am Voltaire Benali. I have, as you see, one of the people who have been come here. I am friendly. If you have injury, patch up things like this, I can do for you. These are the rest. And so you'll just nod to the rest and wait for you all to introduce yourselves.
Thank you, Voltaire.
I'm Gertie. I am a scout. Just a few words.
A large man standing over 6 foot tall stands up, pulls off his face mask of his armor. You wish he would have left it on, but I am Brick. I am here to kill, maim, and help the enemies of SLA Industries.
Yes, very, very good, Brick. Frothers are rather enthusiastic when it comes to fighting. And this is one of our ADV, our Advanced Carrion.
Yes. Hello, I'm... Yeah. And we're here again. So, hi, I am Whisper. And I'm pretty much here for anything you need.
Gertie, Whisper, you are both scouts. Usually we don't pair up with the same package. However, as our friend Samuel here will be able to tell you, this is not a normal mission. He points over to two people in the corner. Samuel, would you like to describe yourself?
Samuel looks like everyone's uncle. He's got kind of like ruddy cheeks. He's going a little bit bald. He's got like that, like, I shaved on Monday and now it's Thursday sort of stubble. If he wasn't wearing weirdly old-fashioned kind of esoteric looking body armor, you would probably presume that he runs, the local pub, or he sells newspapers or kebabs. He looks like that kind of a guy. He gives a very friendly wave. His smile is very bright. He says, "Yes, hello. My name is Samuel Twinings. You can call me Sam." And looks over at the Ebon as in, like, is this when we start telling them the uncomfortable things?
Your colleague next to you, Lord Shakta, turns, looks at each of you in turn, and stands and walks towards, stands beside the Ebon. You may call me Fury. Thank you very much for coming. As my friend Samuel will tell you in a moment, this is a somewhat peculiar mission. You, of course, have heard of the Ethermen? No? We help protect the world of progress against some of the more esoteric entities that plague us. We do things that most operatives usually don't have a chance to do. How much do you know of downtown? How many levels, if you bear with me, how many levels does downtown have? Do you know?
No idea.
Jeff has no idea.
Well, Voltaire might know. It's possible.
Voltaire would think probably about 15, 16.
15, 16 perhaps.
Not far off. A little bit further down, you will find something called the Deep Construct. Now, you will not have heard of this. This is something that we tend to keep quiet, and you will be expected to do so after the BPN. We originally built 18, well, not originally. We last built 18 levels down. And as we went further down, the stranger it became. A few hundred years ago, some Ethermen noticed that, or rather, a Shakhtar noticed that it went further down, that there were spontaneous levels of downtown being created. We've studied this. We're not sure how far down it goes. It starts at the 19th level. And please believe me, it is not as bad as downtown can be. This is infinitely worse. Just so you're prepared. Are you still willing to continue on this BPN? If so, Samuel will take over.
Hell yeah, new monsters to kill and challenge. Right there for that.
Places to explore and see. Much to learn. I'm very excited.
It's new areas to scout, new opportunities to show just how valuable I am.
He says to you in Shakhtarian, I expected nothing less. And gives a smile.
Responds with thanks.
And you? Quiet one?
Yeah, of course. I already told you I'm here for whatever you need. I will not back down.
And Samuel? Please, prepare start your briefing.
Okay. So, yes, he is wearing armor, but once again, he just seems very, very mellow. And he says, yes, let's. Okay, that's where we start. How many of you have seen a cross-section of Mort City, the city that we're on now? Well, I'm sure you have, but let's refresh you. Standing on top is what we would call, the headquarters. There's Uptown, which is above the surface of the planet, and that's where management is, and that's where the pit is, if I recall correctly, and a few other places. Below that is what some call Uptown, which is the place that we all dream about when we drive past, and then we start getting into downtown. Downtown is made up of prefabricated housing blocks that have been stacked together in their tens of thousands to form this world of progress that we live in and on. As you can imagine, there's a bit of foundation work that goes into building something this big. Bear in mind that Mort City is a couple of 100 miles across, if not bigger, if I recall correctly. This is a bastardly huge city. And underneath those downtown levels, we have encountered some invasive forces that that require both observation and annulment. Some of you, well, and he points at Whisper, and as much as I'm sure Whisper has seen lots of dirty looks, passive aggressive bullshit in his time in SLA, Sam
Slay,
just
don't
gives
say
him
slay.
slay.
They also will kill us. Sorry.
Says in the time that you've been here, you've probably got a bunch of bigoted shit, but Sam just seems, for example, sometimes less frightening things come out of the sewers. But what we're working on the deeper things that can affect your mind, things that you will need a strong sense of self for. We have sent several teams down into a particular piece of the lowest below downtown levels of Mort City. This is the 5th mission. We do not know exactly what's going on. Most of them have made it exactly one level into the deep construct, so we have kind of left the established downtown area into the unnavigated areas of the deep construct before getting kind of a all's well, here is our position, we're beginning the mission proper.
Fury stops you for a second. You're getting ahead of yourself. Those missions were coming back.
Okay. He just kind of nods and takes it in stride.
Is this believable? Would I believe that they came back?
Oh no, they didn't come back. They were coming back.
Okay, they were on their way back. Sorry, that's my fault.
No, it's my fault.
He,
I didn't describe it properly to you.
Yeah, he pulls out like an old-fashioned like manila envelope briefing papers and shuffles them and kind of does this. Makes a couple of the, I'm now rereading something, sort of those grunts and thinking noises, and goes, "Yep. Well, that's what I get for reading my briefings before tea."
Fury,
Entirely my fault. I'm sorry.
please, that's okay, Samuel. Anyone going to the deep construct for the first time would be nervous. Would you like to continue, or should I?
Well, how about you take it over for now? It seems like I'm going to have to reread this a little bit. And he kind of sits down,
Take your time.
kind of tries to put himself in the same arrangement as the rest of the squad now, as if to say, now I'm with you. And starts playing catch up with his paperwork.
You scoot over and make space for you.
He says thank you in moderately good Shakhtarian.
So you only get a moderate Winston.
Yes.
Apologies, this briefing has somewhat... no, I don't want to become famous, thank you. I would ban you back in first. This mission has been going on for the past 5 years. We received a message longer than 5 years ago from something within the deep construct. There was something to bring back. We sent a team down and had contact with them. They made it back through level 5 onto level 4. And that was the end of it. We got their last position. The message that came back was distorted. There was nothing definite in it, but they did not come to a good end. The next team made it back to level 3. And again, the same thing. We got the message of their last position and nothing more. And then the next, and then the next. And now you. The package you are to retrieve is on the 19th level, one level into the deep construct. You'll be given the coordinates. You have an Etherman with you, which should be enough to protect you to get there. We are not certain what it is you're retrieving, however. You will come into contact with entities that are supernatural is perhaps the wrong word, as they are naturally occurring. They occur here on Mort more often than the denizens of Mort City might think. This will be dangerous, but you will be helping all of the world of progress by doing that. Samuel has the gear needed to navigate the deep construct. You will all be, should you wish it, given some, mind them? The mind them's a drug that makes you stop feeling fear.
Hell yeah, I'll take all you want to give me. Love the stuff.
I'm surprised you even felt fear to begin with, Brick. It surprises me.
Well, I took my dose today. I feel no fear. Ever. Been boring taking that shit.
Fear being bored. There's also an experimental, what do we call it, Ben? An experimental coating we can give to your armor. It is not certain that it will work, but it might offer some protection from certain dream entities.
I have a question. If you don't know what we are about to fetch, and if no one ever came back from there, how do you know where it is?
Good question. You can listen to the final message that we received. And he presses play on an old-fashioned tape player sitting on the table. You hear a screech and a crumble. This is Ellerman Jennings. We have been traveling for... Time doesn't matter down here. We've been traveling for as long as we've been traveling for. We have come into contact with several parties down here. You hear a squawk in the background, and then his voice goes a little bit higher. We have the package. These are our coordinates. They tell me the next team will be the last one needed. I'm sorry we could not serve further. Please tell... And it cuts off.
It is still not answering his question, I think. If he refers to it as the package, that implies someone at some point understood what it was. Definite.
They may very well have done, but those people are no longer available to us. Communications with within the deep construct are not exactly consistent or simple. It is amazing that we got the messages we have done, and the fact that they came so regularly, and the fact that this simple mission has taken 5 years to complete. I have lost friends to this mission. The Ebon speaks up. We have lost valuable employees of SLA Industries to this mission. It's about time it came to an end, and the look he gives the Shakhtar is pretty much one of disgust. The Shakhtar just ignores him.
So the missions have been going on for 5 years, and there have been 5 missions. Thus to imply there is significant time between each mission.
As Jensen said, time works differently down there.
I see. Violation of some kind.
That is our theory, yes.
Fascinating. I am curious.
Indeed. Would you like a cup of tea?
Of course. Very much so.
He brings a tea set over from the corner and starts pouring. Would everyone like a cup? And very slowly, very ritualistically pouring this tea. He passes it out. And the Ebon shakes his head.
Question for you, Mark. What would we know about the dream monsters or dream creatures?
It would,
If anything.
dream entities, it would very much depend. It's not. We're right now in about the year 903 or something, 905. And these things have been about for hundreds of years, but Slays managed to keep a lid on it. But as the rise of the Shi'an cult, the return of the conflict races, things are starting to sneak out. So you probably heard something of them, but you won't have anything really concrete. Just rumors and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that tells me what I needed to know. All right.
Vortia might have read a little bit more into it.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
we
Brick wants to hear. What can you tell me about these damn monsters you mentioned? Can they be killed? You say we need special treatments? Treat my sword. And he pulls it out from behind himself. If it takes that to hit something.
No, the hitting is not the problem. The problem is when they hit you and their hands slide directly through your armor and into your insides.
Might it not be best if they never know that we're there?
Why do you think we have 2 scouts on this mission? You come very highly recommended. Your compensation will be 2,000 credits per operative, as well as a 0.6 SCL increase.
Which is quite princely,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine Voltaire is thinking that the reason it is quite princely is because all the other missions never returned and they never had to pay it off. So it's like, you could promise us just about anything, couldn't you?
We want the package.
That seems clear.
And we really do not want to have to send another mission down.
You won't have to.
That is what we like to hear. The Ebon claps his hands and you see again his suit shoots through with some colours. Well, if that's all done with, if you head down to the carpool, we will have a taxi ready for you. If you need anything, if you need to stock up on anything, please do beforehand. We will likely not see each other for another. He looks at his hand as if he's got a watch on. Another year, and he walks out. The Shacktor stands. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Gertie says to you, may the moons be with you, or something. I don't know if that's in
Where can we get the mind numb?
Don't worry, I already have plenty.
Excellent.
I'm sure Voltaire would have some as well in his medical kit.
For prescriptive purposes only,
Oh, of course.
not recreation
Only prescriptive.
only. I'm very responsible.
You have to be. You're a model employee.
Indeed, I am.
So,
What about this substance that you spoke of? And she'll kind of touch some scarring that she's got on her face from previous battles and just say, maybe if I'd had that before, I wouldn't sort of have these battle scars here.
he says your name in full, which I can't because, yeah, no. To everyone else, it just sounds like a mess of consonants pushed together. My child, this would not help with that. The enemies that you face down there are unlike those common to Mort, or indeed any other planet. These
Well,
are
the stories that I will return with then. That I can only share with those that I went with. As she remembers that we can't talk about it if we live.
you can always speak with me.
Even if you can't tell the whole story, just saying that you came back for the deep construct would be enough to make sure that you don't have to buy any drinks that night, I have to say.
And as
That would
always,
be
you
worth
may
it.
talk with your priest.
But we should get going.
Everything would be waiting for you down in the carpool. For those of you that want to try the treatment on your armor, you can do so.
Definitely.
Yeah,
If it helps, we will do. Will it interfere with noise generation or heat generation or stuff like this?
Untested.
no, it looks like a can of bear mace.
Okay.
It's a coating.
Yes.
Is
it's
it
coating.
odorous? Shall it produce odor that others can smell from us coming from far away?
By the time we get close enough to anything that cares about how it smells, the smell's going to be gone. The only thing that smells on it is the propellant.
Will it agitate by feathers or skin?
Untested.
He holds it like he takes his glove off, takes his armored glove off, holds it up, sprays his hand with the canister, looks at his hand, like kind of makes a show about inspecting his hand, says, "Well, if it's going to do it to you, it's going to do it to me too. So we're all in it together. Come on."
Spray me. And he steps up.
And he just
Spray
It
me,
looks
Agnes. Good.
it looks like he's hosing them down with like a gas of mother of pearl that just kind of sits there and then slowly loses its sheen and seems to disappear. If anything,
All right.
it just
This smells pretty good. I should be good for a bath for a week. All right.
All of you can notice his aroma. Once he's sealed into his armor, it'll be fine. When you get down to the carpool, you see the APC. And it's about 9 meters long. Massive thing. There's a gun placed on top of it. There's 3 shivers standing outside. 1 sergeant, 2 privates. The sergeant looks at you all and shakes his head and goes inside. One of the private walks up. "I'm Private McCabe. If you'd like to take your seats."
Do we what? Thank you very much, Private.
You go in, you can hear some kind of heavy music playing. This is super goatee. They're brilliant. A new band. Heard them
I
up
see
in-
them every chance I get. Wonderful. Next.
Love them. And he sits there and starts prepping all the stuff that needs to go. The other private, as a woman goes up into the gunner seat. The sergeant is sitting, just writing something away and completely ignoring all of you. McCabe says, "Would anyone like something before we start going? I'll get you a cup of tea or something." Much friendlier.
How
than
long
the
is this
shivers
trip
normally
going to
are.
take?
About, to get down there, you're talking maybe 10 hours.
Wake me when we get there. Tries to get himself as comfortable as he can in the bench seats and starts snoring.
There's enough room for 10 people in these APCs, so you'd be able to get some rest. Probably not the most comfortable rest, but then again, you're probably used to less than the most comfortable rest.
I will definitely use some of the time to really check all of my equipment, especially with the coating, if anything interferes, and if everything is low, so I can give my best.
Everything seems absolutely fine. The smell on it, especially to you, Whisper, is kind of acrid, but the others probably don't notice it as much.
Okay.
Mark, if we have that kind of time, is there, and part of this is just my ignorance, like, is there like handheld like access to like network, like internet access, basically that kind of thing?
In my version, yes.
Okay. So Voltaire is, he's somewhat scholarly, right? And he's got various lore skills in cult and dream. Is there any, or even sector, is there anything in particular, like, given what we just learned about these like dream monster thingies, like if there's anything I can cross-reference, even if it's just like folklore or urban legends, doesn't even have to be anything. Is there something I might be able to get more than just basic rumors?
You have, dream lore. You can roll. Give me a dream lore roll. So you have a skill of 2. So if you click on the skill 2 roll,
Okay.
it's your bonus is 7.
Okay. All right. So
Success die was a 13, and then 10, 14, and 9 for my skill die.
Okay, so what is basically the standard difficulty is a 10. So unless I say that it's something higher, that's generally what it will be. So you have there 1 success and 2 skill dice, so it's a fairly good one. You're able to find lots of rumors about dream entities turning up in places. You heard a famous case of a supposed serial killer called Little Jenny. Had been stopped a couple of years ago. It was never really proven, but as you know you're able to find from good sources that it was assumed to be a dream entity. You have being a Neophron, and coming from not coming from the planet Mort itself, you've probably had more knowledge of things like the Ethereals. You've heard of the bitterness, which is the Mr. Slayer's enemy. It's based on White Earth and controls. It's trying to control everything, trying to destroy everything. He's the antithesis of what the world of progress is meant to be.
Okay.
Doesn't make him a good guy, but doesn't make Slay the good guy. But yeah.
Sure.
You've heard much more about Ethereals and their seemingly magic abilities. Some of them are extremely strong. Some of them are incorporeal. Some of them can affect the mind. You would have heard of at least 2 different types of dream entities called titters, which are like the serial killer. They tend to take the form of children and affect reality to try and make people want to help them, protect them, and then they murder them. And shadows, which are more like ghosts, more apparitions. And you've heard of something that can come from them called the Grey. You're not too sure about it, but you know that the Etherman would know more.
Okay. So if it's a 10-hour car ride, I will take up court and I will give a wonderful academic lecture to anyone willing to listen. And even if they're not willing to listen, about everything I know about tethers, the serial killer case. I've heard of there's a very interesting case years ago, hasn't even been solved. And then I'll talk, everything that I possibly can fit into a 10-hour car ride in the most polite, colorful way possible. Filling everyone in.
The one shiver, the McCabe, he looks very interested the whole time and starts to take notes until his sergeant nudges him and stops. Throughout the ride, it starts off fairly well. You're coming down from uptown. After a little while, when you start into lower downtown, you start to hear thumps against the sides of the ABC. You hear shouts and screams, and you green bastards. You think you even hear a Molotov cocktail hit off the roof at one point. A couple of times you hear gunfire rap out. Neither of the shivers sitting beside you seem to be bothered by it at all. And the further down you go, the more strange the screams become. They stop being words. They start to just be calls, shouts and calls of anger and rage and lots of different things. There's no windows in the APC, or at least not in this APC. I think you'll take at least some chance to rest before you get there. After a few hours after that, everything goes silent. You just hear the wheels going along on the ground, crumbling, and all of the noise that came from downtown before is just gone. And then the APC stops. The sergeant, who hasn't spoken a word to you since then, this is your stop. He hands Samuel flare. When you get back up, shoot this, someone will come get you. We're not waiting.
Very good. I don't blame you. And he takes this flare, the retrieval beacon, and he hooks it on his belt, and he does it making it very clear that he wants the rest of the team to know where it is. In that kind of like, if I can't get to this, this is where this is on my belt. If someone needs to grab the retrieval beacon, here's where it is. He gives, who has the medical injector? I assume the frother and the doctor do.
Of course, I do not go anywhere without it.
He gives you both a couple of doses of whatever it's called, Clear Mind, No Fear.
Mind Numb.
Mind Numb.
Yeah, he gives you both a couple of doses of Mind Numb. The frother, I'm sure, probably doesn't notice this at all, but the doctor does. The literature on these doses is different. This almost looks like a no-frills, non-commercial version.
Generic.
It's military. There's no jingle. There's nothing like that. There's no advertising language. It's all very stark, black and gray lettering, and it has, batch number, source number, all that stuff. But
I do like one of those devil's hicks. Look at it. Look at you. Look at it.
No opportunity for marketing. Very clearly, this must be serious.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a 10-pack cylinder already, or just?
It's however many Mark tells me I gave you.
Okay.
However many you wish a 10-pack cylinder it is. The mine lasts for, I think, 6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
I got it up. And for me, it lasts longer.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you see him grab the tube, pop open a piece of his armor, switch out a tube of and puts it back in there, shuts it, and he's got an automatic dispenser custom made into his armor. So he hits it, and you see him just roll his eyes and smile. Oh. Hits another one because he has another addiction. And then you just see him. Oh, I'm ready. Let's go. Woo!
Sammy, you'll know that the next part is also going to take quite a while to get through. Once you're out of the APC, you are standing in front of what above would be a shift block. It's basically a massive platform that takes you between downtown district. And although none was ever built here, there's one taking you down into the deep construct. There's no one on it. There are gates and seats there for people, but it looks disused. Above, these things always stink of sweat and probably piss as well, and the people are always jammed in like sardines, and you would really only take it if you had no other option. Here, yeah, this is your way down.
Okay. See, he stops and he does a like, okay, we need to talk hand thing. And he says, this is both going to be exactly something you're used to and something you've never experienced before. But at the end of the day, the objective is we have a BPN, we have to retrieve a package, and there's going to be scary things that are going to try to kill us while we do it. If you get rid of the question marks, this is all something all of you has done 1,000 times. The actions aren't new. The wallpaper is new. But you know how to do this. The tools and the systems that you've used before are going to work. I'm just going to make sure the things that are new don't trip you up. So what you need to do is just what you're already good at. I know that Ebon loves psyching you out. He, for someone that works in our department, he loves getting in people's heads, and I don't know why. But you know how to do this, so don't worry about it. Okay, start tracking when you take a. I will not remember the name of that drugs for $1,000. When you take your Mind Numb, pay attention to how it makes you feel. Try to set a timer on your watch. Understand that the timer is probably going to lie. But when you feel those effects start to recede, be aware of that, okay? All right. Any questions now that we're out of all of this? Now that we're by ourselves and we're about to get real interesting.
One, I forgot to ask, will the mind numb have any side effects?
No, not for the amount and the rate that we're taking it. It is technically addictive. However, it takes a much higher than normal number of doses.
Okay.
And frankly, if we're down there long enough that any of us actually, aside from you, sir, who is your own biological question mark, and I trust you to manage or not manage that as appropriate. Were any of the rest of us to start experiencing actual addiction side effects of mind numb, I've done that before. I'll walk you through it. Don't worry about it. I don't expect us to be here that long, at least in subjective time. But
then let's go.
all right.
So Gertie's hope is that she's going to be chosen to be a squad leader someday. So she's going to do sort of the, kind of squad leader part 2. And so she's going to give like her own version of like a pep talk, which is just going to be repeating a lot of what was already said, but she's really trying to make her mark.
What you could do you have a leadership skill?
Probably not.
Because if you did, try and...
That makes it even better.
Right? Yeah, she's not really cut out for it. But
give me a
still her
skill.
hope anyway.
Give me a roll with a no skill roll.
A no skill roll.
No
Okay.
skill.
I
And
got a success.
the bonus would be knowledge, though. I think, or charisma. Sorry, charisma.
Let's see, charisma. I've got
So
a
it'd be a 2.
2.
So you add a 2
Yeah.
to it, whatever it is.
So that would be a 10 on the success and a 7 on the skill.
You don't. Your words aren't. You don't put anyone off, and they don't think you're stupid for doing so. But it's not the roaring boost that you've seen other leaders give. But you do see a slight lift in the demeanor doing it. It's one step in the way.
Then she'll step back and now we can go along.
Okay. Sam gives you like a smile and kind of like a thumbs up, and that's something that he has done over the entire ride, is that he does seem to be very, very positive minded. And that if he's had a chance to say, good question, good idea, I like what you did there, any of that stuff, like he's not false about it. It's not false praise and it's not love bombing. But anytime he has a chance to add one more brick to your psychic armor, he's been doing it.
Good to know.
Platform.
All right, so yeah, is this now one of those big people movers?
Yes.
Cool.
Some massive things that are. Yeah, as I said, they're meant to take 30 people, and usually they're upwards of 60. Crammed in like sardines, but you're able to spread out over it.
Mm-hmm.
Starts to go down
Yeah.
with a clunk. You can hear what sounds like ancient gears crunkling along as you go. Usually this would take maybe an hour or so to get from level to level. But after an hour, you still don't see the floor. But you do start to see something around you. Everyone give me
Right.
a cool check, please.
Everyone
just
give you a cool check?
Cool check, yeah. So the initiative one, and then add your cool to it. Oh no, sorry, not initiative, base, and add your cool.
Base and echo. Okay.
So how many dice is that? What is that?
It's the base one. So you click on base, then put your cool in as the number.
Oh, I'm using meat dice.
I use meat dice then, yeah, then 1d10 and add your cool.
1d10 plus cool, or 1d10 and add your cool as a bonus?
Add your cool as a bonus.
Okay, I got you. I'm caught up. Cool. I got a 12.
Did
so-
anyone else take mind numb already?
No, yeah.
Then
Addicted to it, so always on it.
yeah. So voting, whisper, Gertie, you all start to feel nervous. There's
So
something. Yeah.
we're in the thing. Do we see outside of this, or
It's do you ever seen those the films where you've got these massive platforms, you know, and they're going down into a mining thing or whatever, and it's not a lift, it's a massive big platform.
so? And is it dark around, or
There's some ambient light.
yeah?
We're in
we'll
a
pretty
tunnel, though, right? Like we're in a
Yes.
closed-in
You definitely
elevator
yes,
shaft.
basically, yeah. Just one that's going diagonally down.
So we can see down and it goes on forevermore, like, and we can see up and it also goes for a very long time.
Basically, yeah, you can see up and you can see glimmer of light. You can see down, you can see glimmer of light, but you're not sure exactly
Yeah.
where.
I will definitely go through all my sensor package, what I have, infrared, thermal, night vision, everything. I want to see what is there.
You see nothing there, but around you, you start to see people. Different species, different sizes. They're not coming towards you or anything. They seem to be passengers on the shift lock. You can see them talking, their mouths with their hands gesticulating, but you don't hear anything.
But they are on our platform directly around us.
They're around you. They've just started to appear, yeah? In ones and twos.
He's the only one seeing them, correct?
All of you are seeing. But
Okay.
the Samuel and Breck aren't getting nervous about it. That's the one thing I don't like about this game. I can tell you that your character is feeling nervous, or your character is scared, but yeah, it's important to some of them.
Uncle Sam, the genial Etherman has a rapid personality shift into very serious business. He is still a very polite, like his language, his voice is still light, but now he's taking away all of the extra words and he's going, okay, time to take the mind numb. And he unlimbers some kind of a rifle. It doesn't look exactly like it shoots normal ammo. It's absolutely, you haven't seen it on a shelf. And he loads a magazine and racks the slide. And it makes kind of this weird, raspy, crackling noise as he does so. So the specialist thinks it's time to be concerned.
Yeah, I think Voltaire will probably reach in, grab his injector, hand shaking just a little bit, reminding himself like, this was coming. This is fine. Everything. And then and squawks a little bit as he like injects it right into underneath the armor and the scales into his skin. When you say it's like, so I'm just trying to, how enclosed is this? Is it like if we're in like a shaft, like a lift going down, like how enclosed is the area that we're descending?
Well, it's quite big. It's massive. It's
Okay.
You'd be able to fit maybe 2 or 3 buses on this thing.
Okay.
As it goes down, and it goes down like I've got my hand in front of the camera or something.
Okay.
I don't know, and it goes so diagonally. There's a lot of space, but it's now really starting to get full, and they're not doing anything threatening. They don't even seem to be paying attention to you.
Are we now officially in the deep construct? Have we entered like weird zone?
This is where it happens. This is the sea change.
Yeah.
If you want, you can explain to them the sea change.
Rick is going to move towards the center with the rest and call the rest of the party to gather up. Get over here. Gather up so we know who's who. And you don't get separated.
I follow basically up and will go to the
He
medic.
has his sword out. He's ready, but he's not sure what to do.
You're going to feel a change. That's okay. That's normal. We are transitioning. We are going from downtown Mort into the deep construct. You are going to have a mild sense of dislocation. It's going to be like changing atmospheric levels. This is going to be fine, and you are going to pass through this. This is just a minor inconvenience.
Are
Each of
these
you feel like
specters that
somewhat-
are beginning to populate this place with us? Should we be concerned with them?
Currently, no.
Currently. So at some point, we should be. Well, you let me know when. I shall stand by Brick.
When this, and he waggles the rifle, finger off the firing mechanism with relatively solid fire discipline. He says, when this starts making noise, that's when you get worried. Right now, those are just window dressing.
Would somebody mind giving me some mind numb?
Sure.
I will. Yeah, I'll go ahead and.
Thanks.
You feel
Pretty
the effects
lost, the
fairly
same.
quickly.
Then I'm just like, I didn't realize I would be shooting everyone so quickly on my team, but there you go.
They deserve it. Each of you feels the sea change slightly differently. For the Gertie, it's a sense of a loss of hope. A loss of the idea that she can bring honor to her family. For Whisper, it's a kind of feral feeling. Remember tearing out the throats of your siblings when they were babies. Rick, you're sober. Completely fucking sober. And the world is bright and horrible.
I'm screaming in pain from the bright lights. Almost puking from sobriety.
Night out in Glasgow. Votia, you are struck by ignorance. Yes.
Double checking like the injections. Like, was that the mind numb, or was that the pain away?
And how does Samuel handle it?
He kind of approaches it very much as a this is a thing that's happening. You know, he seems to just be not ambivalent, but it's just like, it seems there's almost like this sense where he knows that it's going to happen, and he's aware that it's going to happen. He just doesn't know how it's going to happen. So he's just kind of staying very calm. He's almost kind of not dissociating, kind of like looking in on himself, sort of. He seems very patient, and he's very aware, and he's looking around, and he's got his kind of grilled, face, head, helmet, not head bucket.
Head bucket. I like that.
Yeah, skull bucket. He's got his skull bucket on. And he's done this so many times. He's seen so many things like this. He's trained through so much of this that he's just like, I'm on mind numb. I'm in the deep construct. I'm wearing my armor. I have my Volt rifle out. Like, this is essentially the place that he has spent more of his life than not in these circumstances at this point. So he almost considers this comfortable, and he's just waiting for the other shoe/tractor trailer/whale that turned into a potted plant to drop.
And then for all of you, that feeling's gone. Just a memory of it. And the clunk of the gears as they settle in. And the gates open up into a dark hall. And you see all of these other passengers seem to rush out and disappear. As you get off of the shift block, you're in what looks like a normal kind of station. The tiles are black and white and dirty and deserted, and hanging from the ceiling are the empty shells of 4 Etherman armor, swinging slightly as if in a breeze.
Fuck. Okay.
And I think we'll take a short break there and come back in a few minutes, if that's all right with everyone.
All right.
Then thank you very much. We will be back if you're watching. If you're not watching, then you don't get the fuck. Bye.
Do the stupid destructive thing.
And we are stupidly, destructively back. Welcome back to Downtown Dreaming. If you're with us and if you're not with us again, doesn't matter. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much for not giving a shit. We have just entered the deep construct, entering into the station of the shift. What do you call it? Shift platform. They're the signature armor of 4 Ethermen hanging from the ceiling. They appear to be, they're hanging by the feet and appear to be empty.
All right. Well, I mean, absolutely. Samuel goes over there and starts investigating, like, what version of empty, what's hanging them up, like, just what are, like, in brief, what are the circumstances of these?
Yeah, and if they're corporeal, I will assist with that and like try to assess like how they died, that kind of thing.
Well, you can give me a
Rick?
detect roll first of all, please.
And Brick will be checking the surrounding area just to make sure the creature that did this is not here.
And everyone can give me a detect roll, actually. Would probably be. Andy, you're rolling terribly, mate.
Yeah, I just saw this is pretty much the worst roll I can have with this.
Yes.
I don't see anything.
Funnily enough, the drug addict so far is the only one that sees anything.
Oh, I see the hell out of it. If it's difficulty 10, or is it a different
it's
difficulty?
just basic difficulty 10.
Okay, then I got on my success die is a success, and then also my force skill die is a success. So I got a total of 5. So I see it, and I see through it.
Then for Votel, Gertie, and Whisper, you start looking about to see, make sure everything's safe, probably, or in Votel's case, trying to see what's happened with these with the armor, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You know that the armor's hanging there. That looks fucking weird, but at the moment, nothing too creepy. Brick, you got 3 successes. You can hear laughing very, very quietly coming from all around you. Exactly nothing too creepy. Sam, you hear the laughing. You see that the thing, how the armor's been tied up, is bits of tendon knotted together to make a rope.
Just at a glance, do I think that this is Etherman tendon, or is this kind of like a xenomorph style organic webbing?
This, to your mind, this is the inhabitants of the armor. What's been done with them.
Okay.
As you walk underneath, you can see inside the. Yeah, you're very lucky that you made the live stream so late because it screwed up at the beginning. But now you're in the good bit where everyone gets hurt. Sorry, I was reading the chat and then speaking. You look up into the armor and you see the glisten of wet and little bright eyes moving about inside. And hear the gnashing of teeth.
Okay. Is this a whatever they're called? Is this the child dream, the one that looks like a kid, or are we talking like little spidery crittery things?
Little spidery crittery things inside, and the laughter could very well be a titter coming from round about.
Okay.
But you would think that they're probably hellions inside.
Cool. Okay. I think that probably his response would be to say, the armor's infested, back up, would be his first immediate response, probably, before. I mean, I'm assuming that we're going to end up in initiative here shortly, so I don't want to do too much.
Quite possibly.
That if I've still got narrative time, then he's absolutely going to fire a Volt gun round right up the neck of that armor.
All of you hear a very thin sort of screech. and the other 3 armors seem to bend in on themselves and then come back out. And little creatures fall out of the necks and splatter onto the ground.
Define little here. Are we talking like 3 or 4 inches, several, or
Yeah, just a couple
football
of big kids of
size?
these. Yeah, not as big as a football. Some very large rats, but not nearly as cute. When as they're hitting the ground, you see they are misshapen and miscolored and nothing that you've seen before. If you didn't all have mind numb, you would probably start to get very nervous around about now.
Start stomping.
You stomp. You feel the squish in your armor. And as you stomp in the first one, you feel a shiver run up your spine. And you look
Is there
down-
anything about these that exists as a more than physical threat? You know, are they venomous or anything like that, or are these just kind of a kill you and eat you problem?
No, yeah, much more just a kill you and eat you, mess with your mind sort of problem.
Okay.
The rest of you suddenly see these things fall down, and you hear the is it me? Yeah. You hear the sizzle of the shot coming from the bolt gun as an electrically charged shot hits into the armor, or hits up through the armor. And then you hear more laughing, very high pitched and getting deeper.
We yet to determine the source of that laughter.
It's coming from around you at the moment. Then it sounds like
Okay,
it's coming
just-
from the tannoy. And then you hear
Do
a
we
ghost
all
step.
hear it now?
You now all hear it. And if you can all roll initiative, please.
It's
Will
1D.
the character sheet do it, or do we?
Yeah, but if you roll the well, you could do it with the character sheet. Should be an initiative bonus report.
It should be 1d10 plus your initiative bonus.
Yes. Oh, that sucks. Okay. So Ben, what's yours?
Actually, a 15, which I'm pretty happy with.
Right, so you and Tim are on the same. Tim, are you on Rush or Ultra V?
That was my question. How long did it take to come down the slide? Or the,
I would presume, especially if you're addicted, you would have shot up again by the time you get down there. So if you're addicted to one of them, you're on that.
well, if the mind numb I'm addicted to, but that I only have to dose up every
Yeah.
6 hours on, or 12 hours. But the rush I have to take every combat, so I would take it anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm just, unless I'm under the influence. So if it's less than 2 hours that we've been
No,
down the
you would-
tube,
You would have
then
taken
I'd be
it.
shooting up.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd shoot it up as soon as we started combat.
So, since I have the lowest, or not I, what will happen when the doors open and you see this creature that's going between a high-pitched laugh and a very deep, dark sort of laugh is an incredibly tall child. And this child will start rushing towards Samuel. So now next on the initiative ladder would be Gertie. Gertie, what will you be doing? You're not doing it yet, you're just declaring your action.
So Gertie would be kind of pulling out her pistol and aiming at that
Okay.
creature.
The next,
How far away is it?
don't ask me spatial questions. We've talked about this before.
Approx.
Okay, so the
2 meters, 200.
No, probably about 10 meters.
Okay.
It's got to rush towards Sam.
So pretty much we've got this turn to do something to it before it gets into melee range, I think is the actionable
basically, yes.
information.
So next up then is Votia. What will you be
Okay.
doing?
And there's no there's no extra action you have to do to like unwield, like wield weapons and stuff. Is that just part of an
That-
attack action? or
Just
something
part of an
like that?
attack action, yeah.
Okay. So I took ambidextrous, and so I feel like I'm going to have pistols, and I'm just going to crazily unload, and just yell suppressing fire there, even though I'm not suppressing
Suppressing
firing.
fire.
Suppressing fire! Just shooting up as it comes charging in. Because he presumes, because he did the research, it's probably a tether, and this is a bad thing, so let's shoot it up.
It most definitely would be.
Yeah.
Then we have Whisper, Brick, and Samuel all going at the same time. So, what are you wanting to do?
Rick will be charging with his claymore to intercept him from getting to the rest of the party.
You will also have your second action as well, which will happen last.
And that would be to attack him on my last action.
Whisper, Sam?
Yeah, basically the same. Wipe with saber and get close and slice it up.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Right, Andy, pick an order even, please. Order even.
Odd.
Yep, you are closer, so you don't even need to rush. You're able to attack right away. Sam, what are you going to be doing?
Volt rifle round, right? Boom, center of mass.
Okay, then roll, please, for Sam and Whisper, your attacks.
There you are. Okay.
Fucking hell, Andy, what are you attacking with?
I have a bonus of 10 on melee. It's you said I should skill something to 4, and
Yes,
it was
that is
melee.
absolutely fine. I am not.
And I have strength 6, so
And you also managed to get them in the head. And what's the damage on your vibra saber?
it's 1d10 minus 1.
1d10 minus 1, plus. I
So
think
this
2
would be
for the
base.
plus 6.
A plus something, or
Yeah, it's definitely plus because it's the. Fuck. Anyway, Nick, carry on. There's the euro for your hit, please. Sam?
Yeah, I did, and I missed. Nothing I rolled broke a 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Then give me an order even, please.
Even.
Even? Let's have a look. Sorry. Okay, good. You did not hit Whisper. But Whisper, you get the... See,
Yeah,
this is
clearly.
when everyone forgets things. Everyone.
Clearly, Samuel's expectations for combat are very solo related. Like he's
Yes.
definitely got to like shoot them with a volt rifle till they fall over, and then hit them with a melee weapon until they go away. So this whole fire in and around advancing shock troops is not his skill set.
Okay, so you do plus 6 damage and you hit them in the head, so they will get a head wound. So what's your damage there, Andy? Whisper?
so what I roll? 1d10.
Yep.
Minus 1 plus 6,
Yes.
which is 6.
Still better than nothing. They also have a wound to the head. Next
Yeah.
up then was Vortia. If you give me your roll.
Okay. So since I'm dual wielding, I think both weapons have to be fired. So I think
Yes.
they're 2 separate rolls.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah. So first one, then second, 1. So success on the first, fail on the second
Yep, it says with 2 things, so that is...
with 2.
Yep, so you either get plus 2 damage or you hit an arm.
I think I'm just gonna go damage.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna,
it's a good idea.
yeah,
So roll your damage?
yeah. It's so with the plus 2, you said.
Yes, please.
All right, so then I'll just cancel out the 2 damage. Minimum damage is 3 though, so 3 points.
So what actually happens here is as Whisper's vibro saber lashes out and embeds itself in this thing's head, and the look of surprise takes it as Volta's bullet takes its center mass And you just see it slump, a smile on its face as it slides down the vibro saber and starts to fall off.
All right.
This thing's dead already. You see it start to become incorporeal and bits of it start to float up.
Brick gets there and he just screams because it's dead.
And as that's happening, the station is starting to dissolve.
I beg your pardon.
What?
Yeah, the station.
In which we are
You-
standing.
In which you're standing.
Is it like Star Trek Next Generation type of thing where we're seeing something as it dissolves away, or is it?
Holodeck?
Yeah, that's what I couldn't think of the word.
Yes, basically.
Oh God.
And what appears instead of it? Or nothing?
It starts to another whisper. Yeah, true. It starts to reform, or not reform. It's as if it was
Reveal?
always there. Kind of darkened tunnel, dripping wet, with something inscribed along the walls. That when you look at it, makes your brain kind of itch.
Is it like language? Like is it written in a language, or is it just like symbology or something?
You're not sure. You could give me a. What would it be? Give me a dream lore roll.
Dreamlore?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can I roll that too?
Yes, you can.
Success and with 3
Ooh.
plus 3 on the
Very
skill
good.
die.
Ben, Sam.
I'm assuming it's DC 10. Or-
Yeah,
or
yeah.
number 10.
Just, otherwise, I'll say.
Oh yeah. Yeah, success plus 4.
There we go. Both of you, though you can't read what it says, you get the feeling that it's instructions. It's even looking at it when it makes your brain tickle, it's telling you which way you need to go.
And which way is that?
Forward. Forward.
This looks like an
towards-
invitation. Does it not?
It does, and I don't like it. Let's be very cautious.
Agreed.
Are the 4 suits of armor that were hanging, are they now gone? So were those part of the illusion?
They are
or
crumbled
are they
onto the
there?
floor.
Okay. Is there something like a dog tag or some sort of like a personal identifier that I could recover
Yes.
from my coworkers, brethren?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything that impedes me from acquiring it?
No. Nothing at all.
Okay. So he heads over to the armor and kind of removes something that looks like it's coming from the inside of the chest plate lining, probably little identification chips or some of those things. And to each one, he puts it to his head and then tucks it into the same spot underneath his armor. So, there is a ritual there that he is performing for his dead friends.
You didn't
You
know-
can't imagine that there's enough Ethermen for him not to know their names at least.
Yes, you didn't know them well, but they were Ethermen. They were
Mhm.
your people. All of you went through the same sort of training and schooling, and all of you know what it is you are facing.
Yeah.
So this tickling in your head. The others, it makes you feel uncomfortable. But
Mhm.
Victor, Samuel, the more you look at it, the clearer it becomes. Though you can't read it, it's like you can hear it. This way. Just down the corridor. This way.
We'll look down the corridor that it's sort of gesturing or encouraging us towards. Can we see down the corridor, see what's coming? Is it just like black corridor?
It's it's lit by this inscription going all the way down. It's like it twists round the tunnel. You don't see anything there as yet. You do see further on openings out to either side.
Like guiding lights.
Come on, there's got to be more of them down there. Let's go. Hurry up.
Do we have
Guys.
any idea how far away of our goal we are?
Yeah, what's the
I meant
how
to
is
say
this relative
before.
to our coordinates?
Yeah, you've got like from Alien, you know the looks the motion things, but it's
Yeah, motion detector.
yeah, basically it's not showing motion though; it's showing the tracking of where you need to go, in a very simplified form. And yes, it is going towards heading down this way.
And the distance? Or so is it a 5-minute walk, or will we now be
That
on our
you're-
way for 2 days?
Unable to tell.
As much as Sam doesn't like it, as much as he doesn't like it when unreadable languages scrawled on a wall gives him instructions, as much as he finds that personally offensive, he is just going to identify that that's going to be what they need to do. So let's go. Let's treat this like we're in an enemy environment. And he looks at Gertie, who stepped up as kind of a squad leader position before, and kind of gives them a, not is there anything you want to do, but if you want to start addressing this from the military angle, feel free, sort of.
So what Gertie wants to do is, kind of we should all go in this direction, but she has a sniper rifle. And so she wants to kind of use the scope on the rifle to kind of look in the direction where we're headed, to try to do some kind of distance advanced scouting.
Okay. Give me a detect roll, please.
Alrighty. Not a great roll, but a
That's not
success.
bad. It's your success plus 2 skill dice. So that's not bad at all. That's what's it's a better than, what do you call it? An exceptional success, you would call it. Down through you scroll through the different things that you have, the night vision, the UV, the whatever, infrared, and none of them seem to make much of a difference. But every so often, running between two of the exits, you see something moving incredibly fast, but it looks very, very large, and as if it shouldn't be able to move that fast. But it's in the distance, quite far away.
So Gertie is going to motion towards Brick, and just say there's something fast and large that we will need your assistance with.
Where? Just point. Come on, there has to be something down here.
The best I can do at this point is just point ahead as we move forward.
And
So-
he'll start arrogantly marching right down the middle of the aisle with his sword drawn, looking for anything to swing at.
In that case,
Is it just a blank corridor, or is there something in it? Is it wide or so?
okay, so it's wide enough for about 3 people to walk abreast. The walls are, they seem kind of wet, but not quite wet. The inscription has the same lighting that the Ring in Lord of the Rings has. And why am I rolling so terribly? Every step when you're taking it, for a second, it feels as if you're being pulled, not in a direction, but as if you're being pulled apart, as if the last step is keeping you there, and the next step you're having to stretch to get to it. Then you're there. And the openings seem much closer than they were. And Volter and Sam, you hear this way, take the next right. It's getting more insistent as you go.
Yeah, Voltaire, if he's hearing that, will mention the way, like to Gertie and to Brick.
Says, go to the right.
How do you know this?
I'll look at Sam and I'll be like, deep language on the walls are telling us.
Okay.
Externally, Sam says, that's what I'm understanding too. Like a very, almost a strangely non-committal answer.
Hmm.
Internally, Sam would normally be arguing for a lot of caution at this point. But one, he is aware, if not the specifics, but the deadly importance of completing this mission. And also, he knew those 4 Ethermen, and he is mad as hell. And so there is a little bit of I'm not actually upset if a frother ends up face to face with whatever killed my friends. Like, if that's what ends up at the end of this corridor, I'm not going to be all that upset about it. So as much as, as much as it might be more entirely like logic D&D, check for traps every 10 feet to do something calmer, he's just kind of like, yeah, I think that's where we're supposed to go. That seems like what we're experiencing as well, because he wouldn't mind seeing that Claymore interface with whatever top order cryptid is being a sumbitch right now.
And right now, Brick was denied a battle. He just was almost in, so he's really frothing right now.
Yeah, you see the spittle kind of at the side of his mouth. So I take it, Brick, you're first.
Yeah, unless somebody else tries to get in front of him.
Stay close, but you can lead.
You turn the corner, and it's a bright, white corridor, like the halls of many when you were studying. The tiled again. The writing's gone from the walls. As the others come behind you, the tunnel that you were in is gone.
This transition to this white space, is this something that Samuel would recognize as a positive, negative danger sign, anything like that?
It would be very dependent, and since you said you're already less than cautious at the moment, if you want, you can give me a dream roll to see, but giving your state of mind, the difficulty is 13.
That's fair. Real. And you add, okay, so you roll your dice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your skills plus your success dice, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then you add your skill plus the trait, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's a typo on the sheet.
Damn you, sheet.
So it's telling me there was a skill of 4 and a knowledge of 5. I only add 5 to it. Like, it's just
No, it should be 9.
Yeah, it's a math error. And I just didn't double check myself until now. So anyway, yes. So with a success, yes, actually, so it's success die plus 4 skill successes. So super duper success with ice cream on top.
This is a reality distortion of very high skill.
Good.
The lots of things can cause reality distortion. Something like this feels so immersive, something that you actually had to step out of yourself in order to realize what it was. Is not something common. Rick, what do you see in front of you? Something that you haven't seen in a long time. What is it?
Gonna get a little more direction. Good, bad.
Just whatever you see.
Oh, I would see Iberia, I believe. I can't remember the city's, the world name I'm originally from.
It's not a city, it's the continent, Iberia.
Yep.
As you take your next step, the corridor turns into the lush green, the landscape of your homeland. You feel a breeze pushing against your armor slightly. You hear the sound of a fight off to the side. Come on, you bastard! The smack of something glass breaking on someone's head. Give me a cool check, please.
And that's just the base.
Just the base plus your cool. You want to beat 10.
I didn't.
You're home, and you could go. There must be a pub nearby. You can go there. Everyone else, you see Brick stop, sword out mid-step.
Mm-hmm.
Is it you say, Brick?
Would I hear them?
No, not with that roll. Forty, if you want to try and wake him up, you could use a medical skill, perhaps.
I will gingerly step forward, afraid to get cut in half.
How close am I?
Well, what was the order you were going in? You said you were staying fairly close to him, so you're probably not far behind him. Bloody spatial questions.
So basically, probably I will first try if he reacts to normal gesturing or stuff.
Give me a cool roll, please.
Cool?
Yes.
10.
You feel slightly strange as you step forward to be in front of him, but it's a little bit like when you were coming down into the deep construct, and it passes fairly quickly. He doesn't react to the waving of your hands or anything else.
Yeah, medic. Brick is gone.
Brick, what is it you're doing?
I am headed towards that fight. Maybe there's some more battle left in somebody. I'm still all hyped up.
You can see them. They're starting to get right in there. You see they've got clubs and glass bottles, and they seem to all be pissed. And they're fighting and they're having a laugh. And you've got a massive club in your hand.
I'm playing whack-a-mole.
Roll to hit, please. In fact, if you roll to hit and Whisper, you roll initiative, please. Everyone can roll initiative. Okay.
Oh boy.
Tim, you can give me an initiative roll as well, but we'll change yours slightly.
Okay, initiative roll.
Okay, so Ben, what did you get?
I got a 16.
Nice. Andy, what will you be doing? Whisper.
With initiative 8, I will probably doing it late. Is Brick moving? Are you staying? Or so what he does in his world, does it reflect in anything? So what do I see actually?
You still see this white corridor, and you see Brick start to move his arm, but not his face or his body.
So he just moves his arm. Would I recognize this as an attack or something? Or
no, not as far as you know. But it's just initiative. I want to know what you're doing in the next few months.
I'm probably waiting for Vulture to come and look at him.
Then next up we will have Gertie.
I think given what I'm seeing, I'm still looking through the scope, still looking to see what's ahead.
Okay. We'll get to that in a second. Votel?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move up to try to help Brick to figure out what's going on with him. So if it's just a med test, or if not, like shooting a drug into him. I'm not exactly sure what you would want.
He's a frother. You could shoot a drug into him, no problem, just whatever you wanted. Sorry, my fault. Before you both would have said, something will have entered the corridor in front of you. That'll affect what Gerdy gets to do, and what Volta can do, and obviously what Sam can do. The thing you saw through the scope, this massive thing, enters the corridor. So I take it that's changing what you're doing. You're no longer just looking up. You've already got sighted. Do you want to take a shot, or do you want to?
I will aim.
Okay. And you're going to still go for helping Brick?
Yeah, I definitely want to snap him out of whatever daze he's in.
Sam?
The big thing, what is it? Should I roll Dream Lore real quick, or?
No, I'll just let you know what it is. It is some form of cryptid. It is massive and round and has gaping mouths covering the front of his body.
I hate 100% of bet, so I am going to shoot it.
Fair enough. And Brick, you are running into this fight of your peers. You, I take it, are just going to hit. Yeah.
Yep. My question here is, what am I hitting with? Just a melee hit with my arm, or I'm using my sword?
It will be using your sword that you have in your hand.
Okay, I'm just confirming.
I know.
Okay.
So,
because this is going to hurt.
It will hurt, but it depends if you get to it.
What?
Sam rolls first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Difficulty 10 or something harder?
Difficulty 10. This thing is massive.
Okay. Oh, well, I hit the hell out of it. Now that I've understood my problem. So that is actually a +9. So the hit hits, and then, gosh, once again, 4 successes. So I rolled an 8, an 8, a 10, and a 4, which goes up to a 13. So everything hit. So hit
and
plus
with,
4.
With your bow gun, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, roll the damage
the
of
note
that
tube.
piece.
Yeah, so that's 1d10 -4, but it's +6. So it's 1d10
No, it's not. It's a
plus
dream
2.
entity.
It's not a dream entity.
It is a dream entity, so it's not -4.
Yeah.
It's only -2.
No, it's +2.
Oh, +2, sorry. I apologize. So it's
Yeah.
+8. 1d10 +8. Apologies.
Okay, so I rolled a 6, so +2, so 8. It does 8 damage. It is also +20 armor destruction.
And +6 for your hitting in the head.
Yeah. Oh, jeepers creepers. Okay,
So
I'm
it's
caught up now.
No, 14.
Yeah, 14. And it's also +20 AD, so it's 22 AD. So it's
No,
armor
that's
is
from
probably gone.
Cannibal. That wouldn't be there for Core.
Sure. And
that would be way too much.
sure. And it says it also is stunned for a minute.
Yeah, that's also not. But even with the headwind, this thing's not going to be stunned by that. But it does take a massive amount of. You see, as your bullet enters and splashes out the back, the cracking of electricity as it makes a hole in his face, and the hole is soon filled with teeth, like the rest of the holes in his body.
Wow, I hate that a whole bunch.
Yay, that's what I like. Sorry, who are we on here? What's next? We have. We have Vortail. Sorry, this is going so slow. Apologies. Anyway, Vortail, you are hitting Brick with what drug?
Yes. So yeah, is there a way, like, I don't know, Jeff would know this, but like, is there a way that I can medical test to see, like, because I have a couple different ones. I have like Kickstart, but I know it's just healing, and like I have Streak and Pain Away. Like, is there one that
Kickstart.
I might Kickstart? Okay.
Yeah. Because that's
So then-
what it seems to be. So for lack of a more direct alternative, Kickstart. So you
Okay.
think?
So I'll load up a canister and I will look for. I don't know if I want to go all the way around. Is there anything? Do you have anything exposed, Brick? Do you have any like skin or anything exposed?
Yeah, he's only got the face mask type over, and so it leaves his neck and sides exposed somewhat.
Okay. So then I will find an exposed piece as opposed to trying to go all the way
Yeah.
around to the front where his injection
Just-
thing is and just
Sorry.
Then-
Sorry, big fella. Boom.
Brett, give me a cool roll, please. A cool check. You serious, man? What is your cool?
Damn. My cool is 5. I rolled a 3 plus 5.
You can do another one next round. You'd see his neck so flinch as it enters into it, as the drug enters, but he doesn't snap out of it as yet. And then next we have, Gertie.
So
You're aiming.
Gertie's aiming.
Right,
Mhm.
you're aiming. Whisper.
So I also do recognize this monster now.
Yes.
Oh, how far away?
No, you've already said that you can't choose a new action.
I don't really want to attack.
However,
I want to position myself between Brick and the thing.
yeah, okay, I'll let you do that. He is far enough away that it would take at least a round to get to you if he was rushing, which he isn't doing.
Yeah. So the only thing I want to do is get in the way and have my sword in my hand.
Okay. Then back, Sam. What are you doing?
Another shot. I mean,
Roll, please.
there's enough melee and other things in there that I don't feel a need to switch it up. I guess my objective would be to stun this thing, even though it's stunned for a while.
Roll.
Just to keep a.
Oh, this thing isn't stunned yet. It's got a gaping hole in its head, but there's no stun there.
Okay. So, would you say it was 10 still?
Yep.
Then it's still success plus 4.
Then roll, please, damage. 1d10 plus 8.
So that's 12 damage.
Again, you see the other cheek as the bullet hits into it, and the teeth
Mhm.
start to erupt out. This time it's coming out tusks, and I think grunts and starts to move faster. Oh shit, we should have done it properly, but never mind. Let's just do it normal initiative because I can't be asked. Winter, what are you doing?
So do I think there's any merit? Would I think there'd be any merit to like injecting him with more?
Yes,
Or
could do. It might just be that he is, because he's a frother, maybe he's just a little bit inward to it. So if you
Okay.
watch that one more time,
so I'll inject another like big
Beefy bastard. Just
right into the neck, like
much more direct this time.
looking and trying to get like right into the jugular or something.
and Tip, you can Rick, give me a cool roll, and you can add an extra 2 to it.
That would be an even 10 then with the extra 2.
You snap out of it as you see your sword waving right in front of you. You see the advanced carrying Whisper crouching down with his sword out in front, and you come to your senses.
He's facing away from me, correct?
Yes, you see what's coming
Okay.
towards you as well.
I shake my head. What the fuck? And yeah, he's a little disoriented this moment. So
Gertie, you've taken
Right.
aim.
So I'm going to go ahead and shoot. So there's a +1.
+1 on your on the success dice, I think.
I think I did that right.
Success. Well, fuck, 4 skill successes. Excellent. You did do that right. So you can roll damage. Does it say it's damage there? Oh, you know, you did
Okay.
15 damage. There you go. +6 for damage and a hit to the head. So I don't know what 15 damage was. Yeah, doesn't matter. You again hit the head, and it goes into where one of these holes in the mouth already were, and you see the teeth splash out, and then more come into it. The front of it is ripped open down the middle. And coming out of it are 2 small arms. As it tries to, something's trying to pull its way out, and you hear an inhuman groan. Whisper?
Yeah, shit.
Did I recognize that Brick woke up, or because I don't see him, or do I still believe he's out?
You probably still believe he's out.
And the thing is rushing towards us.
Yes, it's now getting faster.
Which means basically I want to sink my sword in it.
You want to engage him with it. Okay. Then give me a roll. He's not got any defense, but he will then be trying to hit you.
So what roll?
Should be melee.
Melee.
Yes, melee. There we fucking go.
Looks like a success and
Does indeed.
5 skill successes.
Yes. So again, that is to the bloody back. How come you people all hit the bloody head? I shouldn't have given you so much bloody things. Anyway, roll your damage, please, sir. Your vibro saber. And plus 6 damage.
Plus 6 damage, which means -1 plus 5. Yeah. Oh, it's a 7.
And then is that with the plus 6?
This is with the plus 6. Yes, I rolled another 2. -1 is 1, and
A 2 minus 1, but was the minimum damage a 3?
the minimum damage of the thing is 4,
That's
which
okay, right?
would
Then we will say it's 10 damage you do.
yeah.
Fucking head. As the 2 arms are pulling out of the head, you slice into the middle of it. Your vibro saber stuck there, and it lashes out at you. Ba-ba-bum. And you take. Let me roll this shit. You take 10 damage. What's your PV? For your armor?
8.
8. So you take 6 damage as this thing's claws sink through your armor and are barely slowed at all.
Okay.
But no armor damage to it.
Yeah.
And now we'll go back to doing it properly, although this thing is fucking. To declaring, we have Whisper, you're first to declare.
Yeah, hit it again.
Okay. Gerdy?
I
They're
am.
much closer to you. Rifle would probably not be.
Yeah, I'm probably going to back out of melee and switch to pistol.
Okay. You can do that as with an auxiliary action. So you can draw your pistol and back off.
Okay.
Then we have Brick. You're now woken up. You see this massive big ball of creature coming towards you.
Okay, he will move up and hit him twice since he's still under the effects of rush.
Right. So one will come first, then one at the end. Vuta, you see that you've snapped him out of it.
Yeah. And so at that point, I'll pull the pistols out and start firing it again.
You should have been before, but never mind. Yeah. Ben.
Taking a minute because it also seems like everyone is handling this well.
Yeah,
Just
you
that
would.
no one's succumbing to any of the various psychological threats in this moment.
It's not an apparition, so you would know there's no chance of them getting the grey from it.
Yeah. Then he just simply, readdresses his stance and continues to shoot. It's, it needs to fall down eventually.
We're not making any more rules for this because it just pulls it out. But all of you, Vuta, you take out your guns. The thing's close enough. You're firing both barrels, each one hitting an end. And every time a bullet hits, another mouth seems to grow. Whisper, your vibro saber cuts away from these arms. And you see inside it seems to be made of more little creatures, each trying to pull its way out. Brick, you get to do the slashy with the big massive claymore. And as you move back, Gertie, you see the thing start to crumple, fall in on itself, as if toppling inside. You know, like when you see a building get blown up, where they do it so it doesn't tip over, it just goes and then falls. That's what happens with this thing. It does this black sort of. It's not quite a liquid. It's like a jelly starts to run out of it, and not running towards you. It seems to all be going back towards the door as quickly as it can. And the lights flash in the corridor, and you're in the station again. And 4 suits of armor hanging from the top. And against each wall, there's 4 walls, you see a human bashing their faces against the wall. And you start to hear a clap. Very slow. This one was fast. Standing in the middle of the room is an extremely tall, gaunt, dark-skinned, but so dark, so like ebony black creature. Wearing an impeccable suit that again is stretched out. This is what, number 5? You've all had a long journey. I am sorry for my compatriots. They did not understand how to treat guests. You got off much better than the last few. And these humans, Sam, you know them. You know, you have their tags there. You can see them bashing their faces. And some of this black jelly stuff running out of it every time. They're not making a sound. The rest of you are still in the positions you were in before. Seem somehow further away from each other, but not. It's like Markland of spatial stuff. Everything's not where it's meant to be, but it is. It's a fairly different group they sent down this time.
Brick is looking around for direction from those that are supposed to be the leaders, or in charge at least.
Yeah, Voltaire will just say, I think you'll have us at a loss. You seem to know us and our intentions, and we do not know you. Who are we speaking to? Or
Is this a master?
No, it's not. Well, it's not, as far as you can tell. It's not what you would expect of a master. He looks at you, Voltaire. How rude of me. I am the reason you're here. As I said, I do apologize. It shouldn't have taken this long. The gift I have to give must be delivered as soon as possible to Mr. Slayer. You may call me, he smiles, cocks his head, Sweetness.
Well, Sweetness.
Sweetness. That would ring a bell to you.
Okay.
You know that bitterness is no, it wouldn't ring a bell to you, but you're definitely clever enough to make the connection, sweetness and bitterness.
Right. I mean, I'll try to look over towards Sam, who seems to know a little bit more, perhaps, about what's going on, and try to do a classic like facial expression exchange. Like, are you, Sweetness is your name, and I'll look over and see if that has any recognition. If Sam has any recognition of the name.
His armor covers his whole face, and it's not an expressive thing. It's almost like a World War I style, like trench helmet with like a heavy one-piece grill. I mean, it's modern armor, modern for Slay. So it's not actually knight armor, but it's got definitely like a vibe from another age.
Felt like a big
And so you're
daddy.
not, yeah. And so it's not like the face isn't going to be the thing, but as you turn to look, you can see the second half of a full body wince, of that kind of like that, like when someone hears something and they want to take a step away from the thing that just said it to them. You see like the second half of that, like, holy shit, draw back, pause, reassess, shock. And when he sees you looking, Voltaire, he's he takes off his helmet, like he clasps it and he maglocks it to his belt, and he's sweaty, and he just gives you a look like, I'm thinking what you're thinking, and that kind of like, I think I get the implication, but I have no idea what to do with it. But as much as he paused to take off his helmet, his primary hand never left the grip of his rifle. So he's not convinced that we're safe. He's just feeling the depth rise up above his neck and start to, to touch his ears.
Whisper.
So where's this gift?
Whisper, you hear a voice calling for help.
From where?
It's a voice you know. Has the very distinct wreathing tinge to it. It's just a door just over there in the corner.
So a Wathan is calling me.
It's a voice you know.
A specific one.
Yes.
The one.
Yes.
The only one. And I see him or I only hear
You
him?
only hear. You hear it fighting and shouting for help.
And from a specific direction.
Yeah, there's a door. You hadn't noticed.
There's a door.
Before. There's a door there. It's just to the right of one of the humans bashing their head against the wall. We still haven't stopped.
Yeah, we'll go to the door as fast as I can.
Gertie, you see a moon over this creature's head.
Hmm.
And it's turning, and the light never seems to hit it. It's only the dark of the moon. You hear a call, not an actual call, it's a call of imbalance. It's offering you something. What's it offering you?
It's offering me a gift of like more charisma and communication, like being better at his leadership.
You see the moon split into four. Red and dipped in blood red. Yes, call me Sweetness. I'm sure you've read your Edmund Blackwood's little stories. Is that correct? Edmund Twinnings?
Yes, I have.
He was full of shit. Do you really think that your kind have the power to make mine?
When he said you're full of shit, his entire body language changed. Twinning's body language went from, I'm very confused and a little bit out of my depth, to, oh, I get it. Like, his confidence returned to him abruptly as this thing talks. And he says with confidence, we've made the world of progress. What makes you think we can't make you?
You did not make the word of progress. Your Mr. Slayer did not make the word of progress. The bitterness did not make the word of progress, and they most certainly did not make me. I have a gift from Mr. Slayer. Whisper, you hear gunshots. You see in the distance, not too far in distance, but your wraithing friend is lying on the floor, blood pumping out of their suit. Ducked behind a desk, severely wounded. All around you, you hear screams and shouts.
Is there anybody else?
No, not
Did
that
we
you can
see him? Did we see him leave, or is he still there?
No, he's left. Where you would you have noticed him leaving, or would your eyes have been on this giant creature in the middle?
On giant creature in the middle, likely, and looking over at Sam and Mel, the other two that have seemed to step up as leaders in here. So, looking for direction, but probably wouldn't have noticed Whisper then.
And as you're looking for direction, you can smell grass, freshly cut grass. And one of the men, or people, sorry, standing, hammering their heads into the wall, turns to you. You can see that they were a frother. And the grin on their face, their nose smashed in. He starts laughing. Sweetness looks at you, Votel. The Neophron, you stayed out of all this for so long. But now you decide to join with Slate. It seems uncharacteristic. What
Lesser of
secrets are
two
you hiding?
evils.
Why is there only two?
Well, that is fair point. Could be many more.
There's a lot of truth that is hidden. A lot of people who believe something to be true vehemently believe it to be true, do they not? Element Twinnings. That
Of course.
they are able to warp reality to how they want. Not like my children do here. My unruly children, as I said. I will wish you no harm. I wish only that you take my gift.
I believe the frother asked you a question. Where and what is this gift?
There will come time. I do believe Gertie is having perhaps a revelation. You can hear Shaktarian elders chanting, but it's a chanting that you were always taught was wrong. Calling of the blood moon, it's offering you all the honor that you could want, but it's offering you armies to lead.
Can I? The song will probably start to put her off that she was interested, but that was enough that she was told that this was wrong. Can I roll for kind of which way her
Yes.
mind is going?
You can indeed. You can give me a concentration roll, please. Just add your concentration with an extra +2, so 1d10 + 5. Or just click on the base one and add 5 as the modifier. There we go. There aren't 4 moons, there should be 8 moons. There should be balance. This is not what your parents wanted. This is not what your family wants. It's not what you want. There's no quick way to gain the power, to gain influence, to know yourself. Sweetness' smile falters as you decide what to do. I think you're muted there.
Yeah. So Gertie would have, while she was kind of looking at that, would have kind of let the pistol drop. But at this point, she's going to kind of pick the pistol back up and kind of aim it towards him.
We'll take that as an aiming round, but without initiative. So if we do get into combat, you can take the +1.
Okay.
Whisper. You hear the gunfire. You hear people shouting. You hear a mission going wrong. Your friend is bleeding out. Give me a cool roll, please. Cool check.
Mhm. 9.
You need help him. This can't
Yeah,
happen
I
again.
definitely need to help him, and I will. There is nobody around, so basically, while
There's fighting going on, but not if your
Not
vision
close.
is focused on him. What was his name again? Forgot.
yeah, I never decided. I never gave him one.
Let's call him Kevin. Fuck it.
Kevin. Okay.
Kevin.
Yeah, basically, I will get close to him as fast as possible while probably switching weapons to get the small MP out so I can cover him if something pops up. But basically, what I want to do is I want to get to him, I want to grab him, and want to carry him back to where I came from, looking for something where we can hide behind, looking for a place safe enough so that I can help him there and prevent his death.
Hold on. Let's see. Let's find a skill that you have there. You could give me, please. See if I can see these things properly. It'd be excellent. Oh my god. No acrobatics, athletics. You can give me a survival roll for it. We'll use that for the moment.
Survival. Yeah. Which would be 13, and then a skill 10,
And
10,
three,
9,
yeah.
16, and 3, yes.
You managed to make it through. The bullets are flying towards you. Yeah, sorry.
Advanced carrion, wouldn't I get something for survival? I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Good enough.
It's an exceptional success anyway.
Yeah.
You're able to grab onto him and you take him, so fireman style. You're able to get then behind a vehicle that's burning out. And he's
Yeah.
breathing very quickly. You let me fucking die, man.
It wasn't my fault.
Let me fucking die. And then you didn't even.
You're not dead yet.
He looks at you and his eyes are missing. Yes, I fucking am.
Oh, fucking shit.
Now roll for initiative, please.
$13.
Okay, this thing that was Kevin the Wraithen is going to try and grab you. What are you going to do?
I dragged him, so is he still lying on the floor?
No, you put him down. He's below you now. So you dropped him, you got into cover.
And so he is on the floor and I'm above him.
Yes.
And he still looks like a Wraithen.
Kind of, yeah. Big empty
But
black
definitely
sockets, and it's not your friend.
But it's definitely not Kevin.
Definitely not Kevin.
So, yeah, this is all too weird. I have on my arm a gash fist,
Mhm.
which are those Wolverine knives, as
Yeah.
far as I know, and pretty much they want to end up in his face.
Then you can
Because-
give me a roll, please.
Yeah.
Doggy.
Success and 2 skill successes,
Okay.
which are all of them because, unarmed combat, not melee.
Roll damage.
Any plus?
No, just a normal. Wait a minute. No. See, I actually have my very nice GM screen here, but I don't have space to put it at the moment. So. Oh, you got 3 skill dice success or 2? 2. Yeah, plus 2 damage.
Plus 2 damage. Okay. Which would lead to 6 damage.
Damage smashes into his face, and you see the teeth that are writhing start to break off in parts, and he reaches, slashes out towards you with 2 clawed hands, which, if I can find my bloody mouse, would be good. Oh, and he is going to do a shitload of damage. Let's see. Okay, you take 5 damage. That's given for the armor for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
As his hands
Any wound?
rip into your cheek. No, it should be a wound, but I think you've got a helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's with the coating. That'll avoid the wound for the moment.
Okay.
Voltaire, you notice that. Wait a minute. What is your? You would be good at noticing which concentration.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at concentration.
Yeah. Yeah. You notice that Whisper's gone. That Gertie seems to have had a moment. And that Brick is heading towards one of these people.
Okay. What is and what do I see Sam doing?
Sam?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I've kind of been listening to this thing talk for a little bit, and it feels to me like maybe he's been lost in his own calculations while these guys kind of had their separate experiences. Does he recognize now that the people around him, that the operatives around him are having these little personal hellscapes? Or
your concentration's high as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then yes,
Yeah.
you definitely notice.
Okay. In that case, he is going to try to get them out intact, and in his mind, that means cutting to the chase on this monologuing whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So he is going to. His motion is he's going to kind of put his rifle in a more ready position, not aimed at anything, but ready to be aimed, and say, if you have a gift to deliver to management, give it to me and we'll go. But if you don't hand it over, I'm going to assume you're just stalling.
I have no need to stall. Look, your friend Gertie has already seen through whatever it is happening here.
Sounds a lot like stalling. And he deliberately, with a really dramatic theatrical gesture, like disengages the safety on his rifle.
He laughs, and the laugh reverberates around the room, making it shake slightly, and the 4 creatures or people or whatever banging their heads into the walls stop and turn towards you. Why didn't you help us, Sam? You're Etherman. And they all say this at the one time in the voice. Please give me a cool check.
Mm-hmm. I think. Not good.
What'd you get?
You got an 8.
You should have helped these people. Why weren't you one of the first missions down? Maybe you could have made it out. Why weren't there more Ethermen sent down? Why was it always an Etherman sent down with a squad? Why weren't these people given the proper training? Why didn't you get the people? Why weren't your people given the proper training now?
Because they're expendable. I mean, that's the end result, is that the value of an Aetherman is like 30 to 1 on an operative. So
That is true.
So, I mean, if they turn all to him and say, "Why didn't you save us?" and why didn't that? He would have had a better answer. He would have had a more politic answer, but he failed his cool role, and so his answer is because you're expendable, and you were expended.
But that means you're expendable then as well.
Yeah. Now, do you want your gift to go upstairs or not?
No, it's not Sweetness saying that to you. It's them. All four of them now staring at you. Brick, the one that was looking at you, is still looking at you. But Sam, you see all four of them staring towards you, all speaking at the same time.
We're all expendable.
And with that, everyone should roll initiative except Andy, said Whisper. Need to do 2 heals. Okay. So going first is Brick. What will you be doing with this frother staring at you? Jelly coming out of its face.
I will give him a frother ending.
Okay.
And move him on to the next life. And it's attack him.
The 4 creatures will go 1 for each of you. 1 towards Vortia, 1 towards Gertie, 1 towards Brick, 1 towards Sam.
Oh, quick question before how long has it been since, per se, the last combat?
You can shoot up again.
Okay, that's what he would do then, for preparing for battle.
That's an auxiliary action. That's
okay. He would also be doing that then.
Vortia, what are you doing? You see that these creatures are going to they're heading towards you.
Yeah, if one's coming at me, I will, and everyone's spread out, and I have no one to hide behind. I will just unload. I will just start firing wildly at it.
Yep. Gertie?
Same.
Sam, what was yours?
It was a 15.
Right, so actually, so you should then be 4, Gertie.
Okay.
What will you be doing?
Honestly, I think he's going to try to shoot the tall black knot master, the silence thing.
Sweetness.
Sweetness, yeah.
Okay.
Because in his opinion, this is all just headfuck bullshit coming out of Sweetness.
What Sweetness is going to do is reach out with the hand and attempt to pick Sam up.
Okay.
Well, if I could actually click on the mouth. Which he does. With great aplomb. So you have your protection value, don't you, with the Otherman armor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good too.
So that's 16 minus your protection value, and that's the damage. You take a wound to the head. Although your helmet isn't on.
No, it's not.
So you take
that's how much?
16 damage and a wound. As he grabs out, lifts you up with his fingers going through your armor and one hand on your head.
That pretty much kills him. He's got 17 hit points, and you just did 16 of them and then gave him a head wound.
Yes.
So
he's not dead yet.
But as close as you can be.
Not yet. We will see. Don't give up hope, man. Shouldn't have dropped. Well, okay, look. You didn't drop your helmet. You put your helmet back on when you put the safety on. So
okay.
That will reduce it a little bit. So maybe you're not unconscious.
All right.
Okay.
So he's got -5 then. So he's got
So you've got 6 left.
6 left.
That's not as bad, but you do miss your turn now because you're stunned for the round. Gertie?
Okay, so I am shooting with my pistol.
At who? The nearest one or?
The one that was coming towards me.
Okay. That's 6 damage.
Yep.
Yeah. So skill roll. Okay, 1 success. The bullet smacks into the thing and it stops dead and falls.
Okay.
The jelly rolls out of it again and starts coming towards you this time. Who was up next? That would have been. That would be Bordell. Fire, please. Shoot away.
Yeah. So I'm shooting at the one that's just coming at me.
Yep.
With both guns again. No on the first.
Okay.
No on the second. Missing on both.
But you didn't. You got at least a couple of skill successes, so you don't hit into anyone. You're all expectable. Great last words. Yes, it is. They're brilliant last words, man. So your shots go slightly wide as it gets within range, and tries to hit you. Wait a minute, were you before or after the Tim? No, Tim before. Okay, so now the jelly can't do anything. One is going to try and hit Volta with its silly little fists. And that misses. The other will try and hit Brick, which will hit. Sorry, I'm got my camera here. I'm trying to look where the dice are and going up and down. It's like, for 3 damage. What's your PV?
8.
So before, so yeah, you don't even take any damage. We'll go into the next round in a moment. Well, no, we've still got the other one hitting you. You've got to go first, sorry.
And I still get to go yet.
You do indeed. What you gonna do?
One, strike the one that's attacking me.
Then roll, please. Oh, you also get -1 damage from the Russia member. I'm glad you now know that it exists.
All right, so I did 8 damage plus 6 and hit the head.
Very nice. This thing crumples and goes down. The jelly spills out.
Is the jelly still moving?
It's moving towards you, yes.
Hit it again.
You want to hit the jelly this time? Give me a roll.
That's a total of, once again, 8 damage with plus 6 and hit the head.
Okay. Since it was so good, you disperse the jelly, you smash into the tiles, and the jelly seems to flow down into it. Some of it clings to your blade, and the power claymore seems to stick for a moment, and then it drips off. Whisper, you can hear gunshots coming from behind you. These ones sound more real.
I still have the creature under me.
You do indeed, but that's just telling you what you hear.
Yeah, I don't care. Basically, this is the worst experience I ever had in my life. And this thing, whatever it is, just faked it. And replayed it for me. So what I would like to do, I have the pusher MP, which probably is not perfectly now in my head after I try to step in the hand, but it's probably still somewhat mounted to me. So the question is if I can grab it, and if I'm above it, basically try to hold him with one hand to the ground and with the other pretty much with the highest rate of fire the thing gives, just try to splatter it.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I want to do.
It's a one shot. Beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, basically, this thing supports suppressive fire 40 shots, which means it empties its whole magazine in a single round. This is what I want to do.
You're not rolling for this. You are enraged. You have this in your hand. You lift your gun and you just fire into it. And you see It's not like the other creatures, not like the things where mouths reformed, whatever else. You actually see this is a wraithing, and the bullets are pelting into it. And after a second, the face is unrecognizable. It doesn't stop, and the teeth are going everywhere, flying into you. And you hear the laugh going, fucking useless. And the body collapses, and you're back in the room with Sweetness holding Sam by the top of his head. Vota being attacked by, you're being attacked by one of these creatures. Brick is standing heavily with his sword in his hand, black goo falling from him. Gertie is turning probably from the one she shot onto the next. And now we'll declare again. Since you're coming, could you give us another initiative roll, please, Whisper?
Eight.
Okay, cool. So
Low as it can go.
you can declare first then. What will you be doing now that you find yourself back in this room?
So basically what you just told me, I can really see this all in an instant and actually already are ready to do this.
Well, yeah, you're acting last, so you're an advanced carry, and you are the things like this aren't going to shake you very much.
This weapon is now empty, so basically back, how far am I away from the big thing? From not silence, but
Sweetness.
Sweetness.
Probably about 10 meters.
Okay. Which means melee. Basically, I want to charge yes.
Okay. Ben, I'm going to send you a message. Right. Who was up next? That would be the entities. They're again going to try and hit the nearest one to them. Then after that, it was Brick to.
Brick will close the distance on Big Bad Guy if he can see him and attack. Also, while moving, he was going to kick into ultraviolence.
Okay, so your main one is to attack, or your main one is the ultraviolence?
I thought I could.
Well, no, because one happens at the end. If it's a two.
Yeah, but one is. I thought injection was free action.
Oh shit! So it is. Sorry, apologies. Yes, you can become ultraviolent.
So I will, as closing the distance, kick that in and then attack.
Okay. Then next up would be Voltaire. What will you be doing? This
Voltaire,
one's trying to hit you.
Right. I think Voltaire will drop one of his pistols, which will like maglock against his leg, and draw his rapier out to melee attack with this the one in front of him.
Excellent. And you're wearing the cool Neophron armor, aren't you?
I am. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Gertie, what are you doing?
So Gertie took care of the one that was on her, and so she will probably see that Voltaire had said earlier that he needed assistance. So we'll probably go switch to the switchblade and attack that one.
Sam, you are able to get. You have some awareness there. Acting will be difficult, but what is it you would be doing?
I think with him being so close up on Sweetness, I think he's actually going to go for. He's going to try to hit him with his force of will staff. Just because.
Gets to go first.
Okay.
But I'm going to let you hit him first before he does what he's going to do. So if you give me your roll, please.
Yeah. And that's, melee weapon. So it's 3 dice plus 6 to each dice. So success die is an 11. and then I got 2 over 10. So success plus 2.
Yep, roll your damage.
Okay.
It's with a plus 2. Plus
yeah.
whatever the thing says for. And
Well, out of the conversion guide, out of the Cannibal Sector 1 conversion guide, which is the only place where there's stats for this stuff,
Yeah, no.
it says it adds 8 damage and 30 AD.
Yeah, but the 30 AD, that's must be wrong because the AD doesn't work like that.
Sure.
The highest AD you see for any Dream Entity, at least at the moment in Core, I think is 12. And I think what they were maybe wanting to do is adapt some of the Dream Entities from Cannibal Sector 1. But that's kind of difficult to do. There's a couple of inconsistencies and all that. But it wouldn't matter anyway because his armor is rather good.
So,
you smack him with the staff.
Yeah, I do like 5.
You hit. He's got hold of you. You lash out with your hand. It hits into his shoulder, and you feel it judder along as it shakes your head a little bit. You're all expendable. Isn't that right? And he is going to lower his head and try to, for lack of a better term, kiss you. Okay, that is 4 successes, and I think that's the success plus the success dice. Describe what happens to Sam, please. As this thing descends, its mouth open onto your face.
Well, it's 2 things happen at once. There is the inevitable, like, destructive force of the contact, but the other thing that happens is as it gets closer, you can see the color leach out of his skin, almost like whatever that black and white movie is that started turning into color. Pleasantville.
Yeah. Pleasantville.
Like a reverse Pleasantville. As the color starts to leach out of his skin, his rosy red, like, almost alcoholic's cheeks leach of color. The color in his hair starts to disappear. He goes completely monochrome, and then the whites and the blacks start meeting each other in kind of a destructive equilibrium. And essentially at the same time this thing makes contact with his exposed skin, he seems to start going away. It's almost like he's fading, which is probably exactly the thing he's down here supposed to keep you all from doing. And there's not much of a scream. There's as it starts, as he swings this specialist melee weapon, there was some angry, kind of desperate, fuck you, I'm going to leave a mark on you no matter what sort of styles. But then it drops from his numb hand, and his rifle clatters to the ground opposite him, and his end is generally silent.
The armor falls and clatters to the ground. The creatures that are attacking you stop. Sweetness bends down and picks up the armor. One last chance to take my gift. What do you see? He looks at you, Gertie. And I'm looking at the camera, that's why it's so. Are you ready to take my gift? Or would you like your squad mates here to die?
I don't believe I trust your gift.
Would you like to be expendable too?
That is yet to be seen.
He clicks his fingers, and the 2 creatures that are left disappear. And Samuel's armor stands up. A gift. And he puts his hand onto the helmet, closes it, and then takes it off. And you see a waxy version of Samuel standing in the armor. His eyes black. This is my gift.
What does the new Samuel do?
What does the new Samuel do, Sam?
I have no idea what he does.
What are the rest of us still doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This Sweetness is kind of taking the air out of everything here. Taking the Sam.
I mean, I was charging or rushing. I was rushing.
Yes, you were rushing, and you would probably hit into the wall because you're very much unable to stop yourself at the moment, and probably still be looking for something to hit.
Everything faded. I guess that's what I'm trying to. I was charging towards Slender Man, and he's not there now.
Well, no, he's still there. The Sweetness is standing there with the newly filled armor of Sam. Sam, you're still Sam, but you are Sam with knowledge that Sam should never have had. Blackwood was right and Blackwood was wrong. The bitterness is nothing. The bitterness is the greatest enemy you'll ever face. The sweetness. Sorry?
I think what Sam wants to do is Sam wants to leave, because at this point, based off my understanding, is that he's going to want to go give this information to Mr. Slayer.
That was your mission.
Okay.
And Brett, you want to hit Sweetness?
Well, I'm assuming this took longer than me charging up to them.
No, not really. Because as Sweetness did that, time for everyone else, it would have looked like he was doing that much faster than would be possible. Gertie seemed to have been in the same time.
He would still be committed to that motion then, or that action, unless something
Then roll, please.
would stimulate him to say it not to. So
Roll.
I am.
Do you have combat dodge?
I rolled 19 damage plus 6, so that would have been a 25 damage and a head wound.
It's quite a lot of them come out of those rolls. Mind you, you're not quite high skilled. Your sword bounces off of his head. And he hits you. For 13 damage. That ignores your armor.
Okay, so I would minus my armor from that.
And that's on your head. So no, plus 6. Sorry, apologies. That's 19 damage. And a head wound.
I fall to my knees, drooling, but still barely holding on.
Anyone else?
I mean, are we just in free action now, or are we like holding our initiative from
action.
before? Okay. I mean, if I see him fall down, I will rush to his aid. I mean, knowing that something, I think I will try to help him. It's just my calling.
But-
So I'll rush up behind Brick and try to lend medical assistance. Like, this is not a fight we can win, big man.
Yeah. Sam just very dully says, "We need to leave."
Sweetness says to you, Gertie, in flawless Shakhtarian, saying your name perfectly. This is what you came here to get. You have passed the little tests. Your friends mostly passed little tests. The ones that came before you couldn't pass them. The shift block is there. You get on, you will never see me again. And if Mr. Slayer accepts my proposition, perhaps even fewer dream entities will enter your world. And you, Mr. Benali, I still don't know why the Neophron are doing what they're doing. But you might want to tell your people that Mr. Slayer is not an ally you necessarily want, whether or not he accepts my gift.
I'll take your message. As to your question, it is cautious optimism.
As he's patching up and like helping Rick while he's talking.
He laughs.
Gertie will just say there are other ways to deliver a communication.
That is what you perceive. There are tests. There are things that have to be proven in order to pass knowledge on. What is it they say? There's no such thing as a free lunch. Mr. Slayer has been having lunch on the house for far too long. Now
I
go
see.
before my children decide they cannot hold themselves back any longer. And you, young Samuel, enjoy your new lease on life. And it feels empty to you. All this knowledge, and you don't even think you could speak it out. Not now, anyway.
The only thing he's looking forward to at this point is the knowledge that if his superiors don't do it, then Mr. Slayer or Intruder will kill him in the process of removing the information he's been cursed with. And he looks forward to that annihilation. And that's pretty much the only thing that's giving him energy to move forward.
You suddenly hear the gears grind again. And the station is gone, sweetness is gone, and you're pulling up to the top of the shaft, the shift lock shaft. Sam, you fire the what do you call it? The flare.
Yeah, the retreat. You called it a flare. I called it a retrieval beacon.
Yes,
I just think
retrieval
that's
beacon.
just
That is much better. So a few hours later, a taxi comes to pick you up. McCabe's there again, but he's not a private. It's a corporal. Didn't expect to see you lot back. What happened down there? And he looks at all of you.
Gertie will immediately ask, when is it?
What do you mean? It's Tuesday. The date? Well,
Yes, what year?
he thinks for a second. It's a year since you left.
Better be worth it.
Better be worth it, is right.
Taxi takes you up. Takes a long time. Sam is taken from you. The four of you are put in for debrief. Separately. The questioning goes on for hours and hours and hours. And at the end, you're given your shiny new sleigh badges. Credits put in your account and told not to mention this to anyone. Do we have an agreement?
I want to add one more thing,
Yeah.
if I can.
Of course.
Sam has taken off the APC first by people who are probably even grimmer than he is. And the thing that is left behind that none of the spooks that take him away notice is that there are not 4 but 5 stainless steel machined tags that are kind of slotted on the side and look like they clip into something, like maybe right here on someone's armor. And it is 4 other names and ranks and some abbreviated to the point of obscurity information on them. And the fifth one there now is for Samuel Twinnings. It's the identification tags that he recovered from those armors and his own, which seem to be the extent of his proof of existence in the world of progress right now.
And with that, I will say thank you very, very much.
We survived.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
But did we?
Yeah.
Good-
We're still
good
down
point.
there.
That is definitely a possibility. Maybe Sam's going to win the doubt. No, thank you very, very much. Thank you for putting up with any issues that we had there. I had a great time telling this little story with you. I hope you did.
Thanks so much for running it.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
I wish it's
Oh,
never mind.
you need to get to bed pretty quick too. It's after midnight where you're at.
That is true. I'm about to turn back into a pumpkin. Just very quickly, here, if you're watching this just now, thank you very much. If you're watching it on YouTube later, excellent. You can do all the usual things like subscribe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, Adventures in Lollygagging. We do streaming as well. Tabletop role-playing games, North American friendly times on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So it's like we play in the evenings, North American times. Mondays we usually switch between like Alien, RPG from Free League, and Things from the Flood. Fridays we've been doing Delta Green, running through Impossible Landscapes, and Saturdays we've been playing Worlds Without Number. So those are kind of our ongoing games right now.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Hmm?
Melissa.
Everything Jeff just said, you can also catch old campaigns and games that we've played on YouTube.
And
Adventures in
they're very, very
Lollygagging.
good. Definitely worth a follow and lots of interesting, funny stories. Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim. You'll find me here at TTRP Theater quite a bit on a couple different things now, but mostly play on this one. You'll see me in chat quite a bit. Hopefully you'll see some other stuff coming up soon. So, been fun. Hoping we can do this again. I look forward to our 2 weeks to our regular SL game getting back.
I forgot about this.
Our Slay games.
Yes, don't. We will be murdered. There'll be a big D notice on
Yes.
our bodies.
Yes, I can play my space elf Orn, or better known as an Ebon.
Which I pronounced wrong for the past 26 years. I've said Ebon. I've been playing this game for 26 fucking years, and I just asked the creator how you pronounced it, and he said it's Ebon, and I just went, oh, well, fuck it. But anyway, Ben. Hello.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Let's go again. Recontextualize me.
Ben!
Wrath and Tears.
Who are you? What
Yes,
do you do?
I'm sorry. My wife told me that dinner was almost ready.
Now, you see, that's a good reason
I'm
to
thinking
be.
about her cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I run Wrath of Tears, a called actual play. It's pretty doggone good. Everybody tells me it is, so I have to believe them. I do that on the Sundays opposite this game. I am occasionally, mostly random, but occasionally intelligent on Twitter. And I am also on the TTRP Discord. So that's where I can be found. And if you find me somewhere else, no, you didn't. So please join the Discord and please catch whatever streams entertain you. We think they're all very good, so please watch them.
And Andy?
Yeah, with non-existing social media on my side. Thanks for having me as a special guest, and pretty much the only chance you ever see me again is if I again come as a special guest.
Or if you want to join the ongoing campaign, which I was going to ask you to do anyway.
Well, I'll think about it.
I don't know. I will send you details.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So as I said, I'm the Cthulhu Kid. You can find me just about everywhere. I forgot to mention this is a one shot that's part of part of the history of an ongoing campaign, which will be back in 2 weeks' time. Then we're every 2 weeks, Downtown Dreaming. It should get really kind of creepy and fucked up, hopefully. So thank you very much. If you're watching YouTube, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. If you're watching on Twitch, give us a follow. Tell your friends, tell your grands. They love me. My accent is wonderful. And have a good night. Bye.